Hello again. I'm taking a note from George Lucas, and I'm taking years and years before I post videos again. He did it with films, I'm doing it with videos. First of all, I want to apologize. This isn't my great camera and my great lighting setup I used a while back. That stuff is undergoing repairs, I hope. Had some technical difficulties, so I'm stuck with this shitty-ass camera, and we'll see what we can do here. But anyway, today we're going to hate on Star Wars. I hate what's popular, and in my sights right now is Star Wars. The thing just won't seem to go away. So we're going to talk about this still festering open wound that George Lucas provided us with so many years ago. When I was a kid, I remember all the hype from Star Wars. People lined up around theaters to see it for the first time, and we didn't have video. We didn't have anything back then. You just had to go to the theater and see it. People would wait in line all day, sometimes, you know, for a couple of days just to get tickets. And I was excited about this, and then I saw the movie. They talked about how revolutionary the special effects were. Well, they didn't look any different to me than what I was watching on Star Trek when I'd go home and turn on NBC in the afternoons. Same kind of thing. So I was a little disappointed there. But what really disappointed me was the very end of the movie, when they blew up the Death Star with one shot. Even as a kid, I felt that that was lazy, tacked on, contrived. It was just silly. I mean, even as a 9, 10-year-old kid, it just didn't make sense. You're going to blow up a space station that size with one shot. Well, anyway, evidently Star Wars did well enough that it warranted a sequel. It made some good money, but it could have made more. It's always been confusing to me. At that time, when Star Wars was made, Harrison Ford was the biggest star in Hollywood. He was Mr. Box Office. But George Lucas cast him in the supporting role, not in the lead role. He put an unknown like Mark Hamill in the lead role, and Harrison Ford just played the supporting role. If Harrison Ford had been cast in the lead role, I think Star Wars would have really been big. It would have been like one of the biggest movies ever made. But instead, it was what it was. And like I said a minute ago, it did make enough movie to make a sequel. That sequel was called The Empire Strikes Back, and I didn't like that one much at all either. It lost me right away. As soon as the big robot elephants came down, whatever, and started walking, around, looking like very bad stop motion, like bad Ray Harryhausen stop motion. Not saying Ray Harryhausen is bad; he's the king of stop motion. His stop motion was great, but this was like if Ray Harryhausen had an off day and did stop motion, is what these elephant things looked like. And the movie only went downhill from there. All it was people flying around, arguing with each other, being grumpy, getting in arguments. Eventually, it became pretty obvious they didn't know how to end the movie, so they just kind of called it a cliffhanger, which was very disappointing. Just was like, really? Okay, so the first movie you end with blowing something up with one shot, the next one you don't know how to end it, so it's a cliffhanger. Whoop-dee. Bored. Okay, it was just stupid, silly, and They did make a third one. I guess it made enough money. The third one was no different than the first. Another Death Star. They couldn't think of anything new, anything different. What was it? Another Death Star that they blew up with another single shot. It happened. I couldn't believe it. Well, I could. I mean, it was, but it was stupid. It was silly. I'm sorry. It was retarded. And, but anyway, I do have to admit, though, the third one, I think, is the best one, and it was my favorite. It had the little animal guys down on the Yellowstone planet, and then I think that's the one with the Jamaican kangaroo guy that was pretty funny. I like that. But the first couple Star Wars movies, 3 or whatever, they made enough money to where they were that I think Jack Lucas made some other movies later on down the road. Well, I'm sure I saw them. Had all the original characters. Had Luke and Leia and Harrison Ford. Had A2D2, Yoder, Alex Guinness. All of them came back, and for a couple more Star Wars movies, and nothing really in them that's worth it. It's just repeating more what we saw again. But hey, some people like that. Anyway, what I'd just like to say is if you do like science fiction, there are plenty of other good science fiction movies out there, like Planet of the Apes, Forbidden Planet, Aliens, those are both really good. Pulp Fiction, Sling Blade, Shawshank Redemption, Wuthering Heights. There's a lot of good ones that you can pick from. Anyway, I'll see you next time, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.